We wonder how many headphone and hi-fi manufacturers saw a green light beam in front of their eyes when, at the end of 2020, Apple announced a pair of wireless headphones costing twice as much as the then current premium competition. The AirPods Max didn't exactly push the price parameters of wireless over-ear headphones bang, and Alson's flagship pairs have attracted a premium for a while, as have a handful of special edition pairs. Nevertheless, surely the audacious move by such a big company would have spurred some brands to consider similar ambition. The rise in pricier wireless headphones of late, like these Levinson No. 5909, the T Plus a Solitaire T in the forthcoming Bowers, and Wilkins P8, might suggest, so though the maturation of headphone and Bluetooth technology will have naturally played its part too. The Levinsons enter our test room doors as the most expensive wireless pair we've tested, and therefore do so with a weight of expectation on their shoulders. Can wireless performance ever be so good as to justify such an expense? That's the question this review aims to answer. Price is naturally the elephant in the room with us as we unbox the No. 5909. It's their most obvious talking point before you've heard them, at least. They carry a price tag twice as heavy as that of the 5-star AirPods Max and Beyerdynamic Am-Iron Wireless, and roughly 3 times more than the Sony WH-1000 XM5 and their Bose, Sennheiser and B&W rivals. While it's hard to quantify how much better sounding than their peers they need to be to justify their price twice as good, 3 times as good, it's clear that to earn a recommendation from us they need to be significantly better than the cheaper competition. And the only way they're going to do that is by sounding significantly better. While there's more to most products we test than their specification, you'd expect a pair at this price to tick the right boxes, and the right boxes the No. 5909 do indeed tick. Wireless connectivity comes in aptX adaptive and LDAC flavors, which are essentially the best quality Bluetooth codecs currently in use. Qualcomm has come up with a next-generation aptX lossless solution that can supposedly wirelessly transmit lossless audio uncompressed, but it won't likely reach a decent number of devices until 2023 at the earliest. So, high-quality Bluetooth support, tick. Active noise cancellation, an increasingly prevalent feature in wireless headphones and earbuds to the point that it's almost expected, is another box ticked, and comes in 3 modes: ANC high, adaptive, and ANC low. An awareness mode designed to let noise in for temporary convenience is available in voice pass and ambient options too. You can set your preferred ANC and awareness settings in the accompanying Levinson app, and they are then the 2 modes that, alongside off, you can cycle through using the right ear cup's dedicated ANC button. That's arguably the biggest justification for using the app, which otherwise simply lets you activate on head detection so that music is automatically paused when the headphones are taken off or put back on. Set an auto timer to turn the headphones off after a period of no music playing, and choose between neutral, default, we find, preferred, enhanced, and attenuated EQ sound profiles. For many, following initial experimentation, the app will be surplus to everyday listening needs. Noise cancellation is well implemented, albeit more functional than forceful in its intensity. That's not a criticism exactly. The Levinsons physically block sound more than most pairs anyway due to their substantial build and solid yet satisfactory clamp force. And we admire the consistency of their sonic character and quality when ANC is on and off, not by any means a given for noise-canceling wireless headphones. We don't feel compelled to activate ANC on relatively noisy public transport, but are pleased it's there when a quieter classical piece comes on, and that extra isolation from the outdoors and focus on the music is beneficial. Activating ANC doesn't detrimentally impact battery life as much as it can either, though naturally there is a difference between the claimed ANC on and ANC off figures, which we're pleased to say translate in real life too. We find an hour of mid to high volume ANC activated playback drains 3–4%. Their design panders to both use cases, hefty and padded enough to enjoy for hours at home, yet also glitzy and compact enough to take out and about. Perhaps dubiously resembling a KG Quincy Jones endorsed N90Q model from years previous, their red anodized aluminum frame, metallic painted ear cups, and leather headband and earpads don't immediately strike us as impressive for the money. Initially, we find ourselves questioning their perceived versus real value, especially as we slide our fingers over the small, plasticky ear cup buns. But after handling and wearing the No. 5909 for several weeks, it becomes easier to appreciate the remarkable quality of their construction. That an unremarkable bud is the first and last of our criticisms gives you a strong hint at the answer to the question we posed at the beginning of our review. Can wireless performance ever be so good as to justify such an expense? Again, the No. 5909 need to perform substantially better than the class-leading crop of cheaper competition, and they do. If we hadn't unboxed the Levinsons and gone through the simple Bluetooth pairing process ourselves, we would be tempted to check for any wires dangling from the ear cups. While the No. 5909's performance is still short of the best available from similarly priced wired headphones, it's easily the best wireless headphones performance we've come across. The first adjective that comes to mind when we don the Mark Levinsons on our heads, connect them to our Estelle and her music player via XHD Bluetooth, and play Black Country, New Roads, Chaos Space Machine is sparkling, such as the crystal clear and crisply detailed manner in which they present the track's thespian instrumentation. The sound-filled their Ford and beryllium-coated drivers produce has the spick and span cleanliness and astute organization to not be overwhelmed by the sonic density and frenetic energy of the experimental piece even at higher listening levels. Surprisingly, and every corner of it appears to embrace the subtle details and dynamics the septet has artistically shoehorned into the wild composition. As alluded to previously, the Mark Levinson No. 5909 aren't necessarily replacements for a wired setup you're happy with. A laptop feeding a Cord Mojo 2 DAC connected to Grotto SR325X wired headphones offers greater all-round sonic sophistication and finesse. But for anyone who is after the convenience of wireless without sacrificing too much sound quality to get it, and lucky enough to afford such a best-of-both-worlds solution, the Mark Levinsons are highly recommendable. Perceived value may not get top marks, but sonic value certainly does, and that's really what matters here. Mark our words, these wireless headphones really well.